Hello, everybody. I'm Rikki Smith. Welcome to Faith on Friday Presents. At Faith on Friday Presents, our goal is to drive motivation by closing the door on the comfort zone, to foster inspiration by exploring what's possible, and to create transformation by challenging those unproductive mindsets. And while you're here, don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and share us with your network. All right, so today is for that eclectic group of people. You have had lots of jobs. You've had to go through a number of things to get where you are right now. You've written a book, written an article, or planning to write that thing and have no idea how to get started or what it entails. And then you wonder, what is going on in 2025? Is there humor? Is there satire? What are we doing now? Today is going to be so much fun. I'm going to introduce you to somebody who's going to talk on those things and more, but let's get started. Everybody, please say hello to Alex Csedrik. Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing well, Rikki. Thank you very much for having me on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Thank you for being here. You are so far the most eclectic guest that I have had on to date. So today is going to be so much fun. But before we get started, Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
Sure. So let's start with where I'm located. I'm located in Dewey Beach, Delaware. I have a very storied background, as you've alluded to, Rikki. I was a college professor. I've done stand-up comedy for over 12 years. I'm a published author. I also work in marketing. I was the town marketing chairperson for Dewey Beach. Uh, I was a reporter. I was a walking food tour guide. Uh, I'm trying to think, even I'm forgetting some of them. I used to bartend, and I bartended for a theater company, and I bartended on Broadway, so that was fun. Yeah, I've
hmm
I've I've led a life. I've led several actually, Rikki.
it sounds like it. And I love that. The only thing I did not hear was chief bottle washer and dog walker. But I mean, it's still early, right?
No, those are my side hustles.
Okay.
That's for me. I don't
That's
charge for those, you know?
just a little something you do on the side. I mean, Alex, there's so much here. And it's so cool because where I live in a military community.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people watching and listening to this can relate because as military spouses, as we talked earlier, every time you move, you pretty much get a new job. So this sounds so familiar. So I'm sitting here thinking, where to begin? Okay. Let's start with this. I know that you have recently published a book and it's going to be coming out soon. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Sure. The book is called Mars is for Millennials. It's a short story collection. It satirizes all the issues that we're facing today as a society. It's a science fiction, what's also known as literary mainstream book. The idea is to tackle these issues in a humorous way so that we can all come together and realize, yes, these are significant issues, but we have a lot more in common than we are led to believe or that we think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the title. Mars is for millennials. Why? Why is Mars for millennial? Why couldn't Venus be for millennials? Where'd you get this amazing title from?
Well, everybody knows that what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So
Exactly.
it's definitely an allusion to that.
Mm,
And the whole idea of the exploration of Mars, colonizing Mars, that definitely played into the title.
mhm.
So it was very much the allusion to that. What was that in the 90s?
Could it
That
be?
book was
Yeah,
very
I think it
popular.
was. Yeah.
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 So
Wow. Well, you took it way back. Some of my folks watching, they're like, wait, why are we from Mars right now?
yeah.
Look, to them, I say, look it up. So,
Yeah.
so you said it's a satirical look at what's going on today. First of all, sadly, we have to explain what is satire?
Sure. Satire is gently poking fun or sometimes very aggressively poking fun at what's happening in real life.
Mm,
It's trying to be over the top so that
mhm.
you can realize that hyperbolic approach really
Yeah.
is just getting to a universal truth
hmm
about, hey, wait a minute, maybe this isn't as serious as we think it is.
Yeah.
And it's really meant to portray issues in a very extreme way so that we can
Hmm.
realize that, all right, there's
Yeah.
some absurdities going on here, and maybe we need to come back to some common sense.
Ooh, common sense. You said the C word, sir. Anyway, so tell us, can you tell us one of the scenarios that you're poking fun at in your book? Because we don't want to give anything away. We want everybody to buy it.
Sure. So I'll talk about one story in particular. It's about AI, but it's not. So it's actually AI is used as an extended metaphor for
Hmm.
child raising, being a parent.
I
Uh,
love it.
yeah, so the idea is AI is very much based on the engineers and the programmers and how
Hmm.
they code it, their
Hmm.
biases, etc. So with that in mind, you understand how there could be an analogy slash metaphor for
Hmm.
being a parent and, oh yes, my son, my daughter, they're the best thing ever. You just put on the blinders when they do anything wrong. Like,
Right.
no, it can't be my child. They would never do that. Never. But I have them red-handed doing it. No, no, no.
Yeah.
They were framed, so uh yeah, so I have a story
That's
like
so
that.
good. That is
Yeah.
so hilarious. Every school teacher right now is going, I know, right?
Yeah,
That is going to be so good. I cannot wait until the book comes out because it's not out yet, correct?
correct. It comes out April 26th, 2025.
Okay.
So mid-April.
All
And
right.
it's going to be fun because that's actually right around my birthday. So it's an
All
extra
right.
special kind of time for me.
Okay. I love it. Now, satire is a gift,
Yeah.
just like good puns and really good clapbacks. It's a gift.
Yeah.
So you said you were a comedian for 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Explain where and how and why and really? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So before I dive into that, yes, all those things are absolutely true, but even bad puns are a gift too. Everyone loves a good dad joke and a good dad pun.
Oh, come
So
on.
even bad puns have a place in today's society.
That is
Uh,
so
so,
true.
so how this all came about, I remember my junior year of my undergraduate college, I was taking a creative writing class with my mentor and probably the most impactful person I've ever had in my life, Julian Osborne McKnight. She asked us to create dream charts of what we ultimately wanted to accomplish in our lives and all the
Okay.
different ways we can get there. And
Hmm.
so, being a published author was that. And I came up with several different journeys at the time. One of them was to be an actor. As you could see, the John Malkovich in me,
I all
I could have
day.
been his stunt double
All
easily.
day.
So it was a missed opportunity, so to speak.
100%.
But so that was one chart, one path rather,
Hmm.
and another one was to be a stand-up comic. So
Wow.
that one I actually did pursue pretty aggressively, as you
Oh my
mentioned.
gosh.
I did that. Actually, I was studying abroad in Paris, and
Mm.
we had a little graduation ceremony for all the people that were studying that
Hmm.
semester. And instead of reading an essay or a short story that I wrote, I read jokes that I wrote and I got a good
Hilarious.
response and I just kind of caught that bug, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I pursued it for a long time, very aggressively.
Yeah.
Now I still do it, but back to my earlier joke, it's more of like what I call the dad comedy, where you do it like
Hmm.
once a month, once every few months. That's it. It's your night out. You have fun, and then
Yeah.
and you go back to your 9 to 5, and you just enjoy your
Exactly.
life.
And go to bed at 7:30. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So,
And watch the
I
monk while you're at it.
exactly. It's so funny to me that I love how you were saying, and this is what I did, and you glazed over. And I went to study abroad in Paris, and then I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
Who does that? So you aggressively pursued comedy.
yeah,
Were you always funny? Because I know some people, oh God help them, they think they are hilarious.
yeah.
Notice I
I
said they think they are hilarious. How did you go from, this amazing mentor, this reading jokes to studying abroad to being a comic for 12 years? Huh?
Yeah. Well, I still don't know that I'm funny, actually. That's probably the problem. I don't know. I've always naturally gravitated towards lowbrow content and a highbrow execution.
Okay, I
So,
like that.
so a lot of the great stand-up comics do that.
Hmm.
If you look at Dave Chappelle, If you look
Hilarious.
at Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Bill Burr, Larry David, they're all
Wow.
tackling some very major existential
Yeah.
issues,
Hmm.
philosophical issues, but they're doing it in such an accessible way. And
Yeah.
I always found that to be so magical.
And it
Um,
is. It is.
yeah,
I love George Carlin.
yeah,
He
oh
was
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. What he
Absolutely
could do
brilliant.
with wordplay and language,
Yeah.
it was extraordinary.
Yeah.
And there was always that element of what I was trying to do with any of my artistic endeavors.
Hmm.
And so doing stand-up comedy for me was also a great way to elevate my writing because I was getting immediate feedback.
Yeah.
You write a short story, you write a novel. Well, if you write a short story, you may not get feedback for a year.
Sure.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes earlier. If you write a
Hmm.
novel, it'll take you 3 to 5 years to write it sometimes. So then
Yeah.
you don't get feedback for a long time.
Yeah.
Versus you do stand-up comedy, you do a 5 to 10 minute set. Wow, you're
Hmm.
getting feedback instantaneously.
Right.
And it teaches you so many
Golly.
skills beyond writing and artistic
Hmm.
endeavors. It
Right.
teaches you how to read a room. It teaches you to understand that what you may like may not be what everyone else likes. And
Hmm.
if you want what you like to come across to how everyone else likes it, you have to change how you deliver things like that. So it really teaches you so much about it, essentially psychology,
Hmm.
um, the
Yeah.
human condition, things like that.
That's something you never really think about. So a lot of us watching, and me included, we're speakers. We're on
Yeah.
stage a lot.
Yeah.
And there are so many elements that you just said, learning to read a room, getting your
Yeah.
timing together, how to interact and engage with other people. And you do get immediate feedback. And
Absolutely.
sometimes it's not that great.
No, no, sometimes it's not. And any profession where you're delivering,
Hmm.
it's so much more important to be engaging than it is
Yeah.
to be the smartest person in the room.
Oh,
You
say that
know,
again for the folks in the back, Alex. That's so good.
I've had way too many professors throughout my 3 degrees
Mhm.
that, yes, they were geniuses, but they didn't necessarily take the time to look to see that everyone was understanding things.
Yeah.
They were just
Yeah.
more concerned rather about getting through the lesson how they planned it
Hmm.
instead of saying, okay, I'm going this way, but I can tell already that there's a lack of comprehension here. I need
Sure.
to pause and I need to pivot quickly.
Yeah, that
You
is so
know,
true.
and it happens all the time. Again, it's not just teaching. It happens in
Mm-mm.
sales. It happens in any time when, as I
Yeah.
said, you're presenting, you're delivering. People forget to read the room because they're just so immersed in what they've practiced
Yeah.
and what they have
Oh,
prepared that,
so
they're
good.
afraid of that off the cuff aspect.
That's so
You know?
true. You saying that just reminds me, I had a professor when I was in college. It was in statistics. The
Yeah.
man was an actual rocket scientist.
Yeah.
He worked for NASA. He was brilliant. Every time he taught, though, he would turn and look at us like, what are you people doing here? He just
Yeah. Yeah.
when did you get here? That's what that reminds me of. Now, so we there's so much here, and I cannot wait. I'm going there now. So you had 3 degrees. You were
Yes.
a professor at one time,
Yeah.
and all these other jobs. Alex, are you on the witness protection program? What do we need to know? Why do you have
Yeah.
so much going on, sir?
Yeah, and also apparently the failed life as John Malkovich's stunt
There
double.
you go. There's
That could have been
that.
another
Throw
one.
that in there.
Yeah. I think one thing I've always valued in my life are experiences, making sure that I'm having fun adventures, I'm learning new things, I'm challenging myself in different ways. And all these careers so far have allowed me to do that. But we had talked a little bit about this before.
Hmm.
The idea is at some point, while you're in it, or,
Hmm.
maybe even while you're planning the next hop, however you want to call
Right.
it, pivot,
Hmm.
maybe you're like, I don't get it. This all just seems scatterbrained. It's like this
Hmm.
wayward person just wandering the earth like this is kung fu, or I'm Reacher, but not at all jacked and not at all as good looking. Uh, so it seems like that until you then get to the place, and I
Mhm.
don't want to say where you're meant to be because you don't know because it's not over
Yeah,
yet.
it
The
ain't
story's
over.
not done being written.
Hmm.
But you get to somewhere where you look back and then you say, oh my God, all of these skill sets have now led me to be able to do this job and
Mm-hmm.
it allows me to be knowledgeable in all these different things, and I can use all those different traits to
Yeah.
help me further this path.
Mm-hmm. That is so good. That makes me think of, how parents, we will look at our kids and be like, okay, you will be a brain surgeon.
Yeah.
You will be a brain surgeon. And this kid grows up is like, I'm a brain surgeon. I hate my life,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
a brain surgeon. And
yeah,
I like what you said, the different adventures. So in all your different adventures, where is that taking you? Have you gotten there yet?
yeah.
Or are you still looking?
No, I think at the core of it, when I look back and continue to look forward,
Mm-hmm.
at the heart of it really is the entertainment aspect,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's helping people.
Good.
I genuinely want to see people succeed. I want to help them learn from my mistakes. I want to
Mm-hmm.
help them, find where they need to go.
Right.
And that's happening in different capacities. But,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also helping people through marketing, through educating, hey, if
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to look for a product, we can provide that because of XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm educating people through my writing in terms of, as I said, the satire, making
Yeah.
us hopefully understand that we have a lot more in common than we think.
Mm-hmm.
Enough with the this or that side of the world.
Yeah.
Let's get to the middle. You're allowed to have your beliefs. That's great. But there's so many troubling signs, specifically studies that are showing that
Mm-hmm.
depending on your political persuasion, you are unwilling to have friends of the opposite spectrum. You're
Yeah.
unwilling to even share meals with the people of opposite political parties. And
Wow.
that's not what America and that's not what society in general should be
Mm-hmm.
about. It should
Yeah.
be about tolerating each other, allowing people to have their ideas and their beliefs, but
Yeah.
also then saying you're still a good person. And because I disagree with you, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. You're still a good person. I still want to be
Mm-hmm.
your friend, despite the fact that we may not see eye to eye on every single issue.
Yeah. And it should be okay. I love what you said. It should be okay that you have a different idea, a different thought process. We can still,
Yeah.
but you make the best chicken ever. So please come on
It
over.
always comes down to chicken. It truly
And
does.
we love food. Come on.
Yeah.
Chicken is a staple.
I mean, look around the world. There's like not one cuisine that doesn't have chicken. And the ones
Exactly.
I'm probably not going to that restaurant. So
And if they do, those are not my people,
yeah.
100%. So, and but that is just so great to look at. So, with all the different things that you have done, do you think that that has created this worldview for you, or did you already have it and you were trying to fit all of your stuff in it?
I think it's a little bit of both. I
Hmm.
think I had a worldview from a pretty early age. I
Hmm.
think it's absolutely changed for the better. Uh,
Good.
but I think there definitely has been situations that have influenced me to adopt a new worldview, to
Hmm.
soften stances, to strengthen others.
Hmm.
But I do think it absolutely, kind of all blends together and is symbiotic in that sense. Because I
Yeah.
remember from a pretty early age, I knew certain paths that I wanted to take. And so the
Hmm.
fact that I was able to achieve them, that was the worldview that
Yeah.
I had. But
Sure.
then once I got into it, like again, I didn't know that I necessarily wanted to be a professor. That
Hmm.
was kind of, I,
What were
I
you teaching?
literally, I'm sorry.
What were you teaching?
So I taught first year writing,
Okay.
introduction to literature, creative writing.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I
Wow.
literally, I'm not exaggerating when I say I stumbled upon that job. I stumbled upon that job. I was working during my MFA in creative writing fiction at
Mhm.
a community college in their tutoring center.
Mhm.
And it was day two of that job. And my
Wow.
boss came up to me and said, Alex, you have your master's. You have the prerequisites to become a professor.
Mhm.
Someone quit. They need someone to fill in immediately. And my mom had always taught
Wow.
me you never say no to work.
100%. Wow. So
So,
good.
despite the fact that I was 24, feeling completely overwhelmed, the semester has started. They've had
Oh my
several
gosh.
classes, and then I'm
Under
walking in,
their
and they're
belt.
like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, you're a new professor." I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I just faked it till I made it, so to speak. And it
Wow.
ended up being such a rewarding experience for me. And to
Mhm.
bring this back, it changed the way I view the world. It changed the way of what I thought success meant. It changed
That's
the
so
way of what
good.
I thought how you achieve success means.
Mhm.
And instead of thinking that there's this one linear path that everyone
Mm-hmm.
needs to take, you then realize, no, success does not mean you have to do X, Y, Z at X, Y ages. It
Right,
just means
right.
you have to be willing to have certain traits that
Mm-hmm.
prove to be
Mm-hmm.
successful.
Okay. So, Alex, with all of this, this is so good. I want you right now to speak to the person who says to themselves, I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I'm just spinning around in circles. I
Yeah.
have no idea where I'm going. What would you tell that person?
Yeah, I would tell them to make a list of things that they enjoy, but be very broad. Don't be narrow and say, I like walking on the beach at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's I enjoy being in touch with nature. I enjoy communicating with people.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy listening. I don't enjoy those things. I enjoy working in solitude. I think too often, and I don't know if this is an educational thing from,
Mm-hmm.
grammar school in our country, or I don't know, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we keep missing that we're not teaching college students to leverage their strengths.
Mm,
And
so
we're
good.
not asking them to look at their future careers in a holistic
Mm-hmm.
totality view. We're just
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh, you think you want to do that? Great, so go do it. But,
Right.
if you're in a career path and that doesn't actually suit your personality traits, you're
Mm-hmm.
setting yourself up to constantly battle the rest of your life.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are
Mm-hmm.
critical to understanding how you're going to find what you're going to excel the most at.
Yeah, that's so good. So I got this question for you before we end this because I know people I can hear people asking. So Alex, what are you doing now?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm the marketing manager for a real estate investment and development firm. Uh, we are in rapid growth. And so, back to my earlier point, all of those previous careers have helped me lead to this. And I get to leverage a lot of my past jobs and use those for my strengths to keep
Hmm.
excelling my career in marketing. And it feels great.
And I just think that is so brilliant because so many of us spin around in the closet wondering what to wear. And so you're saying, put it all on, and then throw it away, whatever. I love this.
Yeah,
Alex, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, talk to you, work with you, or just freaking talk to you about funny stuff, where's the best place for them to find you?
absolutely, Ricky. So they can find me on my website, www.alexcedric.com. That website has a lot of information about myself as a marketer, my professional background. It will also have links to the short story collection, Mars is for Millennials. They could also connect with me on LinkedIn, Alex Cedric. You'll see this handsome, bald face smiling a little goofishly. So feel free to reach out and connect with me there. I'm happy to answer any further questions in terms of whether it's career paths, whether it's just writing advice, things like that on there. So, like I said, connect with me. Feel free to reach out via message.
Y'all heard him. Please reach out to him. He's hilarious. And don't worry, if you did not get all of his contact information, everything's going to be in the description below. Please reach out. And don't forget, while you're here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. Alex, my friend, before I let you go, we got to play a game.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited about this because I think you're going to be hilarious. So the game is super simple. It's called What's on Your Mind? I'm going to give you some sense. See, you're laughing already. This is what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, I'm going to give you some sentences that you are going to have to finish. That's all you need to know. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready to play, Ricky.
I don't know if I am, but let's do this. Alex, if I had to do it all again, I would what?
I don't think I'd change a thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really? You just keep
I,
going.
yeah, I think anything that I would change have been learning experiences. So
Yeah,
I think it's made me overall a better person.
I agree. That's good stuff. One of the funniest things I've seen is,
Oh, oh man, that's a tough one. I'm not doing a good job as a participant on this one. I thought I'd be better at this game. Um, One of the funniest things I've ever seen. I don't know. I would probably say the movie The Big Lebowski.
yeah, that's a good one. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really
Not
good.
not as good of a self-promotional answer, but it's definitely one of the
That's
funniest.
okay.
Yeah.
Some of the best advice I've ever given was,
To not take everything so personally. And it's still advice that I'm trying to live up to and work on, every day. So,
yeah. When I decide to cook, my go-to kitchen utensil is what?
ooh, food processor because I make homemade pizza dough and it helps make the dough without getting it all over my fingers.
Yes, yes. And everywhere else, don't ask me how I know, just trust me. I get it. Food processor is life.
Oh yeah.
When me and my friends go out, our first place we hit is,
Usually a restaurant, grab something to eat, catch up over good food.
yeah, good food. You can't go wrong with good food.
No, it
And
strengthens
finally,
everyone's bonds. Yeah.
that's right. It really does. And it makes you able to deal with other people's brilliant ideas, which are not so
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And finally, if I could go back and talk to my 13-year-old self, I would tell him what?
Slow down. There's no timeline. Don't be in a rush to reach milestones. Don't pressure yourself into reaching milestones. There's no rush, truly.
Yeah, take your time, kid. I like it. What was 13-year-old Alex doing anyway?
Are you sure I'm allowed to say that on a podcast?
Oh my gosh. Only if you can share.
No, 13-year-old Alex was probably playing baseball, playing the guitar, not Stairway, playing the intro. I was playing the
Okay.
intro of Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and dreaming of being a guitar god, a actor, pretty much the jack of all trade of the future. That was the
Yeah.
goal.
And it looks like you are well on your way.
Yeah.
Alex, thank you so much for being here today. This was so good.
Thank you, Ricky. It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed this.
All right, everybody. That's it for this week. But don't worry, we'll be back next week with more Faith on Friday presents Clear. What?